There are around 1 million Sikhs and Hindus in the UK, and this school where we are today is just around the corner from the largest Sikh temple outside India. But how many of the rest of us know about their beliefs? Well, our last big question deals with one of them, central belief, reincarnation. Have we all been here before?
No, first of all, can I just
it's
finish
very
up
important that I speak to Andrea now, I think.
Just a couple of points. First of all, if God is equal to all his children, then surely he will give us all an equal start in life. Yet we see that some people are born to starving peasants in Ethiopia, yet others are born to wealthy families in America. Secondly, how can the God be a God of cosmic justice? How can the God be a God who distributes justice when, for a finite amount of good we do in this life, we receive an infinite reward in heaven?
I'm with you. Right, Andrea, right, okay. Andrea, you do past regression, don't you?
I am a past life regression
And you've been many things, we've all been many things.
I'm a spiritual teacher. I regress over my time. I've regressed thousands of people to past lives.
You've been a peasant. It's not just Cleopatra.
We incarnate to learn, grow and evolve. Every discussion we've had today could be explained away through karma, collective karma of humanity you've incarnated onto planet Earth. Humanity is at the tipping point of consciousness now. It's not a point of selling arms or not selling arms. We're actually fighting over things. Will humanity continue to exist living on planet Earth because of our collective karma?
Let me ask you, please. I mean, you've been many lives, you've done many regressions, and one of the criticisms of this is that people are always, oh, I was Napoleon, or I was, Cleopatra. But you were telling me earlier on, you've been some very ordinary things.
All kinds
what have you
of
been?
things.
What have you, a peasant?
The point is, I mean, yes, I've done past life regression on TV show, and we focused on the
prison?
glamour of that. What I want to talk about is emotions. We're here to evolve consciousness and emotions. We're here to learn to grow, forgive, compassion, love, understanding. The adoption, you can go back in past life regression.
Have you learned from your past lives?
100%. You can go back to any colour of skin, any socio-economic background, any religion even. So through regression, I regress people back into that. And we scientifically proved through quantum physics that soul continues on. Quantum physics proves it.
Alison?
I'm a Christian. Let me put it to this.
You weren't always. In a previous life, I can tell you, you were something else.
I was not in a previous life, ever.
It's about love and compassion of all beings.
Quantum physics.
I just want to put it this way. You talk about regression. Well, first of all, how do you know? Secondly, if you've not lived a terribly good life on this earth, and you've regressed, and you come back as a worm, how are you going to know? You haven't? Well, how do you know?
Well, I sit there and I lower your brain frequency because some children organically remember their past lives, and by the time you get to 8, around about 8, your belief system and programming from your cultural environment, from your parents, will start to possibly, depending on the parents or the situation you're in, have you dismiss your experiences as fantasy and, oh, you've made all that up. We organically, many of us remember who we are, we remember where we've come from, we remember past lives. We're here to transcend the karma of our past lives. We're here to let go of all the negative aspects.
So we can remember more than we think we remember. You were telling me about your time in prison and everything.
Wendy, you that and you heal diseases.
What do you think about this lowering brain frequency and all that stuff?
I just would be fascinated to see the machine that could establish the truth of that. No, but that's the point.
Wendy Grossman.
Thousands of people and help them.
Andrea, Wendy.
That's the point, however. The skeptic, which, I'm here as a skeptic, the whole point is, what is the evidence for this? And if you can't measure it...
The evidence is that people heal, learn and grow and evolve, and their lives are enlightened and better by their experience.
That is not what a scientist would call evidence.
Salma Yaqub.
I'm with...
millions of people across the planet believe in this. It's fascinating, isn't it?
And I respect that. People are entitled to their belief systems. I don't think that... I'm a Muslim. I believe in things which you can't scientifically prove. That's the point of having a belief. Otherwise, it would be a fact. I believe, like Christians do, in life after death. As Muslims, we have a similar concept that our souls are eternal, we have a temporary body, and things that we do and don't do, we will have to answer for on the Day of Judgment. And according to how we lived in this life, the quality of our afterlife will be affected. So in that sense, the monotheistic religions are pretty similar. And I think, to be honest, any system, any ideology, which focuses you to try and be the best person you can be, whatever the name is, whether it's Buddhism, Sikhism, Hinduism, if you're motivated that you want to have a better karma in the next life because you believe you're going to come back many times and you're a better human being because of that, good.
But I want to say something. I really want to say something. One of the things I get really angry about as an agnostic is the implication that you cannot be a good and moral person unless you are a religious person. And the thing I would like to say is that not having a belief that there is an afterlife in which I will be rewarded or punished means to me that I must make the absolute best of the life I have today and be the best person I can be about it. Well, that's nice. That's nice. But a lot of people don't.
Any system which makes you that's what I said. Any belief,
including her belief. Yes.
And in fact, many religious systems, sometimes by saying we are the only saved people, feel then they don't have to do anything. And I think that's dangerous. So I think religion can be used as a force for good, as well as oppression.
Thoughts?
Well, I mean, my initial thought is simply that the whole idea of reincarnation is just another of the things that humans have come up with to console themselves about reality, which is that when they die, they die. And there have been all sorts of systems that have come up over the years to try to deal with this fear that human beings have always had, the most elemental fear. The fact that it's not true, I don't think doesn't mean that good can't come from it. Personally, I believe that, for instance, the idea that in your life you strive throughout your life to be better, I mean, you know, my own feeling is that religions, when they're best, are metaphorical. And this is a perfectly good example of it. I don't think the lady at the back there has ever been anything else other than who she is now, whatever she thinks. What
do you think about these children who have extraordinary memories of past lives? And you know, what's going on?
Well, what's going on? They've made it up. They've invented it, of course. But look, just find it. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't mean that good. Can I just finish? It doesn't. There's no scientific research that's shown this. There's no quantum physics, as the lady there said. Look,
Andrea. There are examples. Wait a minute.
Can I just say
whatever the reasons for them are, of children coming out with extraordinary facts.
Children remember past lives. Can I just mention, first of all, you mentioned the Bible, but you need to look at the Aramaic text, which goes back 6,000 years. And in it, he says, Jesus says, I was Elijah before. No, the Aramaic text, you maybe don't know about the Aramaic text, but I
think you've lowered Douglas's brain frequency.
I've set his ego rattling.
You keep on throwing jargon at people, but if you didn't allow me to finish my point, which was this, that this whole idea, although it's false, I think, is nevertheless has good that comes. I think the idea that people strive throughout their lives for betterment like that is obviously a good idea. If people get that from religion, then great. You don't need religion for that. But good. No, you don't. I can assure you, madam, the lady there and I don't need to pretend that we used to be somebody.
What does Derek think about it? What is Derek? What do you think about this?
Very simply, I think it's important that people are allowed to pursue their religious pursuits. Well said. They find comfort in that. Yeah. As a practicing Christian, we believe in a linear existence as opposed to a cyclical existence as a reincarnation. We believe, exactly what Peter has said, based on our faith, that there is one God and that we live a life the best that we can, and there is a reward at the end of that. Yeah. And I think it's quite important that we recognise a person's right to have their views and to be allowed to follow it as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else.
Would you like to be regressed by Andrea, Alison? I'd love to know what you were in a previous life.
Can we do that?
Yeah, you can do that quite easily. We're running out of time, but would you consider doing it for Alison?
100%. We're all each other's brothers and sisters.
And we will see you next time. Join us next week from Cardiff when we will return. Goodbye from everybody here in Birmingham. Have a great Sunday.